So good morning friends, a very warm welcome to the theIAShub. Guys, let's start the session. Let's see what's there for us in today's newspaper. So let's start with these words of wisdom. Now I would like to tell you, these words are of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and this is the speech, this is part of the speech that he gave while addressing the European Parliament. तो यूरोपियन पार्लियामेंट को एड्रेस करते हुए इन्होंने ये कुछ एक शब्द बोले थे. वेरी वैल्यूएबल वर्ड्स दीज आर, एंड व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू, बिकॉज द सेम वर्ड्स यूपीएससी डिड आस्क इन योर 2019 GS पेपर 4 in your mains exam. These words were there. So let's look into this, that what are we going to interpret through these words. Okay, Upendra Bharti, Bulbul Pranjal, Sachin, Mohit, Priya, good morning. Now he's saying that where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. Where there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. Where there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. There is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. This is what he said. So what do we understand by these words? इसका क्या मतलब निकलेगा? Now the basic understanding is this: if we talk about peace in the world, it will be only possible if we have peace for every individual. That every individual should be at the mental peace. Conduct by every individual in the humanity is critical if we want to have peace for the humanity. पूरी दुनिया के लिए अगर आपको शांति चाहिए तो हर एक आदमी में वो शांति होनी चाहिए. So this is what he is trying to say, that we are, as an individual, we are at the base point of the global peace. Other point he is emphasizing is about righteousness. Righteousness means clean way of living, following ethics in your life, the good conduct, having purity in your thought process. So we want every individual in this world to have pure thoughts in their life, so that at the end, when their heart will be clean, they will have character. And when character will be there, now people having good character in a home, that home will be at a peace. When the home will be at a peace, definitely multiple homes will form a nation, multiple families will be there, nation will be at a peace. And nations are going to design the order for the world, and finally, in this way, it is going to facilitate the global peace. That's why you, me, every individual is important in this world. We outrightly cannot neglect that we have no role in the global peace, that this Ukraine-Russia war is going on, and we as an individual, we have nothing to do with that. Yes, we do have to do with that. And not only this, now you have to understand whatever differences that we have. Now war starts with human mind. That someone is thinking about that war, someone is planning about that war. From there the war starts. So this is the starting point here. And you should be knowing this particular part, that human body and human brain is the most complex system in this world. And we should know how to control it, how to manage it, so that we can utilize this potential for the positive things, for the positive outcomes that is going to sustain the humanity, that is going to facilitate the humanity. So it's all up to us, how you can handle your brain, how you can handle your thoughts. And in that, definitely it is very critical to have right thought process. This is what we are emphasizing here. Now, in today's session, we will be looking upon these particular news items: same-sex marriage debate, okay, Ministry of External Affairs training for Taliban officials. Now, I was very surprised. Not precisely, because I got a chance to read a book, Kashmir Vajpayee's Era. There, like A.S. Dulat, Amarjit Singh Dulat, he had been our raw chief, okay, and he suggested few things. He said that we should engage with Taliban. So there also it was suggested. So I guess government might be, you can say, going ahead with this thought process. So data governance, we will look into this. Chinese economy slowing down, and you can say this is the opportunity, because different private investors, they are now looking for different destination, and India is quite a good, you can say, opportunity for them. Saudi, Iran, Detente. Now we will be looking into this, that what led to this development, what was the reason why, you can say, they both decided to end their rivalry, and what role China is playing here. So yesterday there was this article which talked about that why India is silent about it. India ने कुछ भी नहीं बोला, okay? So उसको लेके बात करेंगे थोड़ा बहुत. India remains world's largest importer. See, there will be lot of interesting things around this particular, you can say, CIPRI report that has been released. So I am going to tell you few facts, interesting facts regarding this, okay? So you can stay tuned, stay connected, because like lot of surprises are there. काफी, मतलब I was surprised, so I will share those surprises with you. Now, need for more medical colleges, definitely. We do have shortage of doctors in this country. Vultures Spotted, देखते हैं इसको. UK security document has been released, and they have this goal that China is a threat. Okay, so retail inflation remains unchanged. तो काफी कुछ खास असर नहीं पड़ रहा है. It means RBI may have to take some strict measures. So let's start this particular session, and let's first start with this particular point, same-sex marriage debate. Okay, so already this is going on. Now first let me introduce this particular thing with the statement made by a Solicitor General. Now he says that Parliament will have to see what would be the psychology of the child who has seen either two men or only two women as parents. This point is very critical, because if you are allowing registration of marriage, अगर सेम सेक्स मैरिज का रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है, if this is allowed, then definitely next provision will be right to have child, right to have parenthood. That will also be considered. Parenthood. Now couples, they will claim, they will say that please allow us to adopt children. It will be legitimate demand. ये बिल्कुल लेजिटिमेट डिमांड होगी कि बच्चों को अडॉप्ट करना चाहते हैं, और आप उनको कैसे रोकोगे? एंड द सेम क्वेश्चन विल बी देयर. क्वेश्चन इन द सेंस, व्हाई आर यू ट्रीटिंग देम डिफरेंटली? बायोलॉजिकल मेल फीमेल कपल होता है तो यू विल अलाउ देम टू अडॉप्ट चिल्ड्रन, बट द सेम सेक्स कपल्स माइट नॉट बी अलाउड टू अडॉप्ट चिल्ड्रन. So the legitimate question that Solicitor General highlighted, he said that what will be the impact on the mental state of the child who will either see two male or female as the parents. Now that is really important here. We have to debate it, and only after clarification of this debate the Supreme Court can come out with some judgment. Now the point is this, they have sent this debate to the Constitutional Bench. You will see multiple, you can say, judges are going to be there. Minimum 5 judges होंगे वहाँ पे. They will put up their inputs, they will debate about this, and later on you will come out with the judgment. Clear? Now other point they are asking, देखिए interesting point है. Other question is this, whether this relationship as part of right to dignity can be given recognition by the state. Can government approve this? This is the fundamental question that is to be debated in Parliament. So he is quite right about it. He is quite right about it, that it's the question of lawmaking, and first Parliament should come out with some conclusion. वहाँ debate होनी चाहिए, वहाँ मुद्दा होना चाहिए. Yesterday I told you about this point, that which article safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice. It is there in Article 21. Now the point is this, if this is part of Article 21, right to choose one choice, then why can't the same sex choice be accepted. Why are we not accepting it? If we have decriminalized 377, okay, why we are not considering that these are also part of someone's right to privacy? Aren't we violating these things by governing them, by dictating them, that state is the authority to looking into this particular part? Now, not only this debate is a broader debate, and society also has a role in this. My question is this: is society ready for this change? As a society, are we ready for this change? This is the fundamental question. Now you can put up your point of view in the comment section regarding this. We do have a modern constitution. Modern constitution we have, which is bringing positive reforms in the society. Positive reform लेके आ रहा है, scientific temper लेके आ रहा है हमारा constitution, facilitating the rights, fundamental rights. At one end we have this, at the other end we have social norms. Who is to be given the importance? The question lies here. Because certainly you can conclude that in the present time, society is not ready for this. They are not ready for this, but that doesn't mean that we should stop. Someone has to start. किसी को तो शुरू करना पड़ेगा ना. So this is the point here. Now we can conclude that it is basically constitution of the country which is introducing this positive social change. It is the constitution which is facilitating this change. Now this is not the first time your constitution has facilitated these change. You already know we abolished untouchability. So if that could be started by your constitution, why can't this? So this has been a major debate here. Okay, so we have to take it quite seriously. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now MEA training for Taliban officials. Okay, so this is there for GS paper 2. Now there are some reports that have been released which says that MEA is going to hold some courses for the Taliban people or Taliban officials. Okay, और ये जो है हमारी काबुल एम्बेसी में it will be conducted. Now this will be done, but the major point is this, are we not accepting Taliban? The problem is this: what's the official stand that we have here? Now official stand is this: India doesn't recognize Taliban. And we always talk about that we want some sort of inclusive government in Afghanistan. कि हमें चाहिए inclusive government in Afghanistan. Clear? We always say that rights of the people of Afghanistan, it should be well respected, including the women rights. Okay, this is what India's official stance has been. Now this has been the development. So I told you in the start itself. So I read a book called Kashmir, the Vajpayee's Era, written by A.S. Dulat. Okay, now in that book he suggested that it was, we can say, written in the decade of 2000. Okay, so you need to understand one thing here. This is not a new thing. So he was mentioning about those things. Book तो बाद में आई थी, लेकिन इन्होंने कुछ बातें बताई थी that Taliban, they recognize that India is an important partner. Okay, India एक important partner है. But we have to learn from the history. Now here is the picture in front of you which is talking about IC-814, the Indian airline plane that was hijacked by Pakistan based terrorist organizations and they were taken to Afghanistan. Now at that time, again in the past as well, we didn't recognize the Taliban regime in Afghanistan, and the reason it was the reason that Taliban didn't allow us to carry out military action there. Okay, तो उन्होंने हमें allow नहीं किया military action वहाँ करने को. They said that you don't recognize our government, why should we care about your concerns? So this is how like things had been in the past. So past में कुछ एक ऐसा हमारा experience रहा है यहाँ पे. But this is the new development we are thinking about, you can say giving training to them, and my point is this could be the start. ये start हो सकता है. Okay, this could be the starting point for positive India relation with Taliban. And already we have said that India is always with the people of Afghanistan. Okay, so right now Afghanistan is facing the food security crisis and India is providing humanitarian aid. So हम आज की डेट में भी humanitarian aid उनको दे रहे हैं. Okay, so this is our commitment with people of Afghanistan. We have said that whosoever is there in power in Afghanistan, it won't matter much to us. We will keep on helping the people of Afghanistan. Okay, तो वहाँ जितनी भी जरूरत पड़ेगी इंडिया जो है वो मदद करेगा, और ये हमने बिल्कुल क्लियर कट बताया, and we have lived up to that expectation. So this is how the things have been. Now here is the question in front of you that has been asked by UPSC in 2022. So they are asking which one of the following have borders with Afghanistan. तो किसका बॉर्डर लगता है अफगानिस्तान के साथ? ओके, तो एक तो ये समझ लो, ये तो उड़ जाएगा आपका अजरबैजान, बहुत ऊपर की तरफ है. तो अजरबैजान अगर आपने यहाँ से एलिमिनेट कर दिया तो मतलब सीधा आंसर आ जाएगा. काफ़ी आसान ये सवाल था. अजरबैजान देखेंगे तो कहाँ अजरबैजान ऊपर की तरफ, कैस्पियन सी के आसपास लगता है, काफ़ी ऊपर हो गया ना वो. तो थोड़ा मतलब थोड़ा सा भी आइडिया लगा लोगे तो ये आसानी से हो जाएगा इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन. क्लियर? So this is what one can do, these type of questions here, but we will see the countries around Afghanistan. Now you need to understand this thing. We do share border with Afghanistan. Okay, तो हम लोग border share करते हैं because this is Pak occupied Kashmir and we consider it to be integral part of India. ठीक है? So don't get confused with that. Okay, because lot of the students they will say sir ये तो POK है, POK तो अब हमारे पास है नहीं तो क्या हुआ, but this is still you can say official statement by government and it is part of you can say India. ये India as a nation का part है, Union of India का part है. So we need to be knowing about this thing. Okay, so आपको इसको लेके clarity होनी चाहिए. We do have a border there. Then when you talk about Afghanistan, they do share border with China as well. ये आप देख सकते हो, इनका border लगता है. They have border with Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, clear, and they have here Iran and definitely Pakistan. So these are the countries with which you can say Afghanistan has a border. So this was the question that UPSC did ask. आगे बढ़ते हैं. A chance for India to shape the data governance regime. Okay, so when we talk about cyber security, now when we talk about data, आपको cyber security के साथ इसे link करना पड़ेगा. So cyber security, the major component is this, that we have to explore the global cooperation, because if we are not able to facilitate global cooperation, this cyber security will be very difficult, because this is the interconnected world and specifically the internet, it is quite connected. Someone is sitting in US doing something in India, it could be possible. Okay, so we have to understand that point here. Now when we talk about cyber security, the at present international engagement or arrangement that we have is your Budapest Convention. एक ये Budapest Convention है, and it is also not a complete means uniform document कि भी सब लोग आ रहे हैं इसके अंदर, सब लोग इसके member नहीं हैं, सब लोग इसको नहीं देखते हैं. I guess it is only for the European countries. Okay, and India is also not a signatory of this Budapest Convention. Okay, हम भी इसके बुडापेस्ट कन्वेंशन के जो है एक तरीके से मेंबर नहीं है, हमें भी कुछ लेना देना नहीं है इसके अंदर. नाउ द प्रॉब्लम विद दिस इज दैट साइबर सिक्योरिटी इज दैट it is difficult to build consensus. Specifically, how to define the jurisdiction. Different countries, they have their own laws. उनके अपने अपने कानून हैं. Different jurisdiction is there. So, investigation अगर आप करोगे तो investigation किस तरीके से करोगे? That's the problematic part here. And that's why we need a global consensus on this. The other question is around militarization of cyberspace. ये भी सवाल है. Militarization of cyberspace. Okay, China has the offensive wing of their armed forces to basically start the cyber attack, this and that. This is how they operate. So if world over forces are investing in that, will you be taking that risk to left out of this? क्या आप ये risk ले सकते हो कि आप इससे पीछे हट जाओ? And will it be advisable? Will it be advisable that you take that risk and basically आप इसके ऊपर अपना military at least defensive posture तैयार ना करो? So these are some of the major concerns, and then they say that this is the opportunity for us that we can raise up issue at the G20 level. Not only that, this is the opportunity for India to show this to the world what we have achieved when we talk about digital economy. And here they are talking about UPI as a success, Aadhaar as a success. That these two initiatives, when we talk about digitalization, they are the remarkable achievements. इंडिया को बहुत आगे लेके जाती है ये चीज. इंडिया के अंदर आज आप मोबाइल से यूपीआई के थ्रू मनी ट्रांसफर करते हो. वर्ल्ड ओवर दे डोंट हैव दैट टाइप ऑफ अरेंजमेंट. हमारे लिए तो बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है ये. इट इज फैसिलिटेटिंग डिजिटल इकोनॉमी, फॉर्मलाइजेशन ऑफ द इकोनॉमी, ट्रांजैक्शंस दैट वी आर हैविंग हियर. So they are saying that this is the time we have to take it to the international level, utilize the G20 as a platform to build consensus over these issues. Now this is one issue. There is another issue, that is data sovereignty, or we can say data localization. दोनों ही एक चीज आ जाएंगी. That who should be considered as the owner of that data. Now whatever we are using, OTT platforms, जो भी आप social media platform use कर रहे हो, Facebook, WhatsApp, etc, 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 their storage servers, जो उनके सर्वर हैं वो यूएस में लोकेटेड हैं या इंडिया से बाहर हैं, एब्रोड हैं वो बेसिकली. क्लियर? दे आर नॉट लोकेटेड इन इंडिया. नाउ द पॉइंट इज दिस, इंडियंस आर जनरेटिंग दिस डेटा. Can we allow this data to be stored somewhere else? So if you are bringing in this data localization principle, अगर आप ये लेके आ जाते हो, it increases the cost for intermediary. अभी तो उनका वहां पे एक data management center है. Now, if this is to be made a compulsion, for India, they need to have their own setup here. Servers यहाँ लगाने पड़ेंगे, cost increase हो जाएगी. So that's why world over this debate is going on. And let's look into the definition. It refers to the principle that a country has the right to control the collection, storage, and use of data within the borders. Also to the informal self-determination of citizens over their data. That citizen are generating this data and we are the owner. It should be there under the, you can say, vision of supervision of government of India. हमें तो government of India represent करती है ना, तो उनके अंडर होना चाहिए. Now, this has been the development, so you can note it down. Prelims के लिए ठीक ठाक ये content है, आपको मिलेगा. So India established India Data Management Office, and it has been done, and it is, the idea is it is going to facilitate data governance. देखिए हमने ये इंडिया डाटा मैनेजमेंट ऑफिस तो बना दिया, बट वी आर अ कंट्री विच इज स्टिल नॉट हैविंग डाटा प्रोटेक्शन लॉ. हमारे पास अभी भी डाटा प्रोटेक्शन लॉ अवेलेबल नहीं है. ओके, वी डोंट हैव दैट. सो दिस इज हाउ इट्स अ मेजर कंसर्न. नाउ नॉट ओनली दैट, दिस IDMO is expected to oversee and coordinate the implementation of India's digital strategy and data governance. Okay. The idea is this, it is going to promote and develop open source solutions so that those solutions are available for everyone, सबके लिए वो solution available हो, and in line with that this particular body, that is India Data Management Office, it will work and facilitate these particular things. Okay, so this is how things have been. Now at present the debate is going on whether we should have limitless flow of data or we should have restrictive data flow. क्या free flow हमें allow करना चाहिए? Now free flow of data is important if we want innovation, but that data could be misused by others as well. Misuse भी हो सकता है इसका, that's also a threat. Okay, so considering this point, these points, the debate is कि इसका करना क्या है. Now we do respect, protect fundamental rights and specifically right to privacy. We have, you can say, mechanism here in this country, data protection arrangement है थोड़ा बहुत. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं है arrangement, but still we are still looking for or waiting for data protection law to be introduced. But nevertheless, जो आप समझें इसके अंदर, so we do want transparent, clear, accountable system if we want to sustain it, and this is the debate here. और कहीं ना कहीं this is the time that we should explore the global cooperation for this. वो हमें ज़रूर करना है, and in the past UPSC did ask a question related to BN Shri Krishna committee. Okay, that was also related to data security. तो ये सवाल तो UPSC ने पहले पूछा है, and I have explained it multiple times. Okay, so again we are debating that the new version of data protection law is going to be introduced, is going to be debated in parliament. तो नया वर्जन आएगा, कब आएगा, कैसे आएगा, वो हमें थोड़ा वेट एंड वॉच करना पड़ेगा, देखना पड़ेगा. ओके, बट दिस इज हाउ द डेवलपमेंट हैज बीन. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. अ रेजिलिएंट इंडिया बट ग्रोथ पैंग्स फॉर चाइना. सो द पॉइंट इज दिस: चाइनीज economy is slowing down, and there are few things they are highlighting, that Chinese economy, it is, you can say, undergoing the structural de-acceleration. एक particular level के बाद आपका growth rate कम हो जाता है. This is what they are witnessing right now, and India, contrary to that, we are at the point of demographic dividend, but it will be only possible if we are able to provide them with education. अगर आप youth को education दोगे, health दोगे, job opportunity दोगे, okay, so if you are doing that, then it will be fine, and if not, certainly ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Now they are saying Chinese जो इकोनॉमी है स्ट्रक्चरल डी एक्सेलरेशन चल रहा है. व्हाट्स द स्ट्रक्चरल डी एक्सेलरेशन? तो स्पेसिफिकली इफ वी सी देयर लेबर फोर्स, ओके, नाउ एजिंग इज गोइंग ऑन इन चाइनीज पॉपुलेशन. दे आर एजिंग, दे हैव द एजेड वर्कफोर्स, द एवरेज एज इज क्वाइट हाई. ओके, सो वर्कफोर्स के अंदर जो काम करने वाले लोग हैं वो कम होते जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे. So this is the development that they are witnessing, and not only that, economy slow हो ही जाती है एक बार एक certain level achieve करने के बाद. Now other point is this: what Chinese are doing, they introduced some structural shift as well. Now what has been this structural shift? And this structural shift was introduced by the Chinese government. Okay, अब ये structural shift क्या था? If you understand the nature of Chinese economy, नेचर समझेंगे तो चाइनीज इकोनॉमी इज प्राइमरीली एक्सपोर्ट लेड. ओके, एंड व्हाट द चाइना गवर्नमेंट डिड, दे आर नाउ शिफ्टिंग इट टू द कंजम्पशन लेड. ये अब इसको कंजम्पशन लेड बनाना चाहते हैं, दैट दे विल बी डेवलपिंग द प्रोडक्ट्स विच चाइनीज मार्केट इज गोइंग टू कंज्यूम. सो दिस इज हाउ दीज आर द स्ट्रक्चरल डेवलपमेंट्स दैट आर गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ. ये स्ट्रक्चरल डेवलपमेंट चल रही है, स्ट्रक्चरल शिफ्ट चल रहा है चाइनीज इकोनॉमी में. ओके, सो दिस इज क्वाइट क्लियर. ओके, नाउ हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है, बिकॉज इन्वेस्टर्स ओवर देयर, प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टर्स, दे आर लुकिंग फॉर डिफरेंट डेस्टिनेशन. वो कहीं ना कहीं अलग डेस्टिनेशन ये एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं, एंड डेफिनेटली इंडिया इज दैट प्रॉमिसिंग डेस्टिनेशन. हम वो प्रॉमिसिंग डेस्टिनेशन हैं. ओके, सो इट्स अ चांस फॉर अस to attract, you can say, investment, but that will be only possible if we are going to further facilitate ease of doing business. क्योंकि बहुत सा एफर्ट है जो अभी हमें करना है. अगर हम खाली बैठे रहेंगे, कोई स्टेप नहीं लेंगे, तो nothing is going to come. Okay, so we'll move to the next Saudi Iran deal that is being, you can say, concluded. Now you need to understand here what has been the equation in the past. So past we know that Saudi and Iran, they are the rivals. Okay. Now even before the Iranian revolution happened in 1979. Even before that, they were competing with each other for hegemony in this particular region. But after the 1979 revolution, there was, you can say, religious element that was added in this particular tussle. ये जो tussle चल रही थी, अब इसके अंदर cultural और civilizational element add हो गया था, which further increased the complexity of this particular relation. Okay, so this is how things have been, and right now what has happened, this peace has been brokered by China. Now there have been some significant development in the past. Okay, अब बात क्या है, interesting point क्या है, they both are ready, they agreed to restore their diplomatic relations, and this agreement has been brokered. This is the significant development here, because if we have seen in the past, Abraham Accord, it was facilitated, mediated by US and Israel, UAE, again traditional rival groups, they came together. So this has been the development, and parallel to that, Chinese, they wanted to play active role in the West Asian politics, and in this way things are moving there. इस तरीके से चल रहा है कि ये लोग भी इस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव में कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता है चाइना, और वहां पे एक ये दिखाना चाहता है दैट चाइना इज आल्सो अ मेजर पावर which can influence the politics world over. Okay, definitely with this development it has improved the stature of China, बिल्कुल improve हुआ होगा, there is no doubt about it, but you have to understand the further things that are happening here. Now this deal, it will facilitate prevention of attacks against Saudi Arab from Yemen. Yemen civil war like situation was there. Houthi, which is a Shia group, okay, Shiite group, and Iranians, they are backing it. So it is expected that with this agreement some peace will be facilitated in Yemen. तो ये तो एक अच्छी चीज है जो हुई है यहाँ पे. Okay, now not only that, if you are ending this sectarian divide that is there in the Islamic world, it improves the political stability in the region. इस पूरे रीजन के अंदर पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी जो है वो इंप्रूव हो जाती है, एंड विच इज गुड फॉर द इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. अब हमें भी इसका बेनिफिट होगा. इफ दिस एरिया इज डेवलपिंग, इफ इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट इज टेकिंग प्लेस, नाउ देयर इज इंडियन डायस्पोरा देयर, ओके, एंड वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट मोर इंडियंस टू गो टू वेस्ट एशिया टू वर्क देयर. हम ये एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि और इंडियंस वहां पे जाएंगे काम करने के लिए. दिस इज द पॉइंट हियर. एंड पार्ट ऑफ दिस डील, एक तो ईरान हमले नहीं करवाएगा, एंड पैरेलल टू दैट सऊदी अरेबिया एग्रीड टू रीन इन ईरान इंटरनेशनल अ फारसी न्यूज चैनल दैट इज क्रिटिकल ऑफ ईरानियन रेजीम. तो सऊदी अरब ने बोला है कि हाँ हम इनको थोड़ा टाइट करके रखेंगे. ओके, विल सी कि कोई एंटी ईरान प्रोपेगेंडा, कोई न्यूज ऐसी पब्लिश ना हो. So this area is quite interesting. It is known for these type of rivalries, but now we are expecting that with this development some peace will be established in West Asia. China, if you see, is already the world's largest oil buyer, and stability in the energy market is essential for its continuous rise. So ये अपने rise की भी बात कर रहा है, और globally जो image बनेगी चाइना की, that will be really very important here. Okay, so yesterday there was this news, one expert, he was saying that like there is no harm in this peace that has been established, but the problem for India is that it has been brokered by China. तो चाइना को फायदा होगा यहाँ से. Okay, and both agreed to restore their diplomatic ties. Okay, अब ये rivalry पुरानी है, but the point is this, कब तक चलेगी कब तक नहीं चलेगी, that we have to wait and watch, but definitely it's a good start, एक अच्छी start है. Okay, from that angle it is fine. So this is the explanation that this area has been, you can say, an arena for power tussle between Iran and Saudi. और शिया सुन्नी डिवाइड जो है वो भी मेजर रोल आ गया, specifically after the 1979 Iranian revolution. Now what has been the case that traditionally US has been a power balancer in the region, but we know that due to Ukraine-Russia war and other developments, US is not interested in the region anymore. US is shifting its attention to the other areas. दूसरे areas में जा रहा है US. पैसिफिक ओशियन के अंदर चाइना को काउंटर करना है और इधर से यूरोप के अंदर रशिया को संभालना है. सो इट कैन नॉट टेक ऑन मल्टीपल थिंग्स and they want to focus on those particular areas with those particular priorities, and this is how things have been. Okay, so as US is deprioritizing this area, so yesterday also I told you there will be a vacuum. देखिए इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन में ऐसा ही चलता है, जहाँ पे वैक्यूम होता है there will be some power interested in that and that power will have the tendency to fill that vacuum. तो ऐसा चलता रहता है, ठीक है ना, इसमें कुछ गलत भी नहीं है. कहीं जगह खाली होगी तो वो ऑक्यूपाई होगी ही होगी. सो दोज टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स दे डू हैपन हियर. ओके, नाउ यूएस वाज मूविंग आउट, बट वो अपने यहाँ पे एक अपनी प्रेजेंस छोड़ के जाना चाहता था. सो लेटर यूएस, यू कैन से, नेगोशिएटेड this particular Abraham Accord with this idea that peace can be maintained between Israel and Arab world. Not only that, we already know I2U2. Okay, this has also been the initiative. So they want to remain relevant in the politics of West Asia through these measures. May not be directly interested in this anymore, लेकिन ये इस टाइप की चीजें हो रही हैं. Now there has been some significant development. इन द पास्ट जितने भी यहाँ पे एग्रीमेंट हुए हैं वेस्ट एशिया से रिलेटेड, वेदर इट इज कैंप डेविड एग्रीमेंट, ओस्लो अकॉर्ड, इजराइल जॉर्डन ट्रीटी, मिडल ईस्ट क्वार्टेट. ओके, नाउ दिस इज द होमवर्क, विच ऑल कंट्रीज आर देयर इन द मिडल ईस्ट क्वार्टेट. सो इसका नाम मिडल ईस्ट क्वार्टेट है, बट मेंबर्स आर डिफरेंट, सो प्लीज डू सर्च इट आउट. ओके, तो ये मुझे पता है क्या है, बट स्टिल यू हैव टू सर्च इट आउट. ओके ना, मेंबर्स आर डिफरेंट हैं, तो ये आपको अच्छे से पता करना है. तो अब्राहम अकॉर्ड, जितने भी अब तक पुराने एग्रीमेंट साइन हुए हैं, द मेजर पॉइंट इज दिस, दैट यूएस हैज ऑलरेडी मीन्स, और यूएस हैज ऑलवेज बीन अ प्लेयर. ओके, यूएस वाज ऑलरेडी और ऑलवेज अ प्लेयर, बट दिस टाइम somehow when it comes to peace brokering between, you can say, Saudi and Iran, US is not having the presence. So आज की डेट में US गायब है, लेकिन ये चीज ओवरऑल पास्ट में रही है. नाउ इन दिस देयर इज अ मैसेज फॉर द ग्लोबल साउथ एज वेल, स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द डेवलपिंग वर्ल्ड. ओके, एंड दैट मैसेज इज दैट चाइना हैज अराइव्ड, कि चाइना आ गया है. अब अगर यूएस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से पीछे हट रहा है, डोंट वरी, वी आर देयर फॉर यू. दिस इज व्हाट चाइनीज आर पोर्ट्रेइंग टू द वर्ल्ड, एंड दिस हैज बीन द सिग्निफिकेंट डेवलपमेंट हियर. ओके, तो ये पूरा खेल है जो यहाँ पे चल रहा है. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर, यू कैन से, आर्टिकल, एंड देखते हैं कि सिप्री रिपोर्ट ने क्या फाइंड आउट किया है. ओके, सो बेसिकली सिप्री स्टैंड्स फॉर स्टॉकहोम इंटरनेशनल पीस एंड रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट. नाउ there are findings about who is the supplier, who is the, you can say, major exporter in the world. So it points out that India remains the world's largest importer of arms. सबसे बड़े हम, फर्स्ट नंबर पे it will be India as a major importer. Second is Saudi Arabia, and third biggest importer, you will be surprised, third biggest importer is Qatar. Now that country is a size equivalent to दिल्ली जितना साइज है उसका. अब आप सोचो, वो तीसरा बड़ा आर्म्स इंपोर्टर है. दिस इज वन फैक्ट दैट इज देयर. ओके, इट इज ऑल्सो सेइंग दैट आर्म्स इंपोर्ट, और बेसिकली we are importing arms from different countries. Okay, now Russia was the largest supplier of arms to India, but its share of total imports have fell from 64 to 45%. France is the second largest supplier. France is the second largest supplier here. Okay, और अब आप एक चीज समझो इसको, ग्लोबली वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ आर्म्स, कौन है बिगेस्ट एक्सपोर्टर? यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स। सेकंड इज रशिया, and the third biggest exporter is France. Which destination is the biggest importer from France? India. India is the biggest importer of weapons from France. हम हैं सबसे बड़े, सबसे ज्यादा हम ले रहे हैं फ्रांस से हथियार। फोर्थ इज चाइना, वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट एक्सपोर्टर की बात चल रही है यहां पे, क्लियर? चाइना इज द fourth biggest exporter of arms. Now you tell me one thing here, in your understanding, to which country China is going to export its weapons? आपको क्या लगता है कौन से कंट्री को चाइना सबसे ज्यादा वेपन्स देता होगा? What's your point of view? To which country China is going to export weapons? You already know the answer. आपको पता भी होगा उसका आंसर, ओके? Which country? I'm expecting some answers. So 54% of Chinese export is going to Pakistan and 12% is going to Bangladesh. So our neighbors are buying. हमारे पड़ोसी ले रहे हैं चाइना से हथियार, चाइना का बिजनेस अच्छा करवा रहे हैं। दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स हैव बीन, ओके? ये है एक्सपोर्ट की कहानी। नाउ वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट इंपोर्टर, ठीक है, मैंने आपको लिस्ट बताई। इंडिया वाज द फर्स्ट, सऊदी अरेबिया वाज सेकंड, थर्ड वाज कतार, फोर्थ वाज ऑस्ट्रेलिया, and fifth was China. World's fourth biggest exporter and fifth biggest importer. World's biggest exporter and fifth biggest importer. Fifth biggest importer. Now you tell me one thing here. From where Chinese are getting the equipment, from where they are importing their maximum equipment, which country could be the biggest supplier to China? According to you, which country could be the biggest supplier to China? कौन होगा सबसे बड़ा सप्लायर चाइना को? Tell me. कोई रफ गैस लेगा यहां पे? कोई गैस लेना चाहता है इस चीज के ऊपर कि चाइना को कौन यहां पे सबसे ज्यादा वेपन सप्लाई करता है? एंड दैट कंट्री इज यूक्रेन। सो चाइनीज आर बाइंग वेपन्स फ्रॉम यूक्रेन। यूक्रेन इज द मेजर सप्लायर टू चाइनीज। व्हाट चाइनीज कुड बी इंपोर्टिंग? नो वन नोज. But you go into depth, Chinese, they might be importing or they might have bought some tanks from Ukraine. कुछ टैंक लिए होंगे यूक्रेन से, ओके? अच्छा, एक इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट ये है, यूक्रेन ने टैंक, मैं शायद बोल रहा हूं, यूक्रेन ने टैंक यहां पे एक्सपोर्ट किए, चाइना को भी एक्सपोर्ट किए, पाकिस्तान को भी एक्सपोर्ट किए। एंड पाकिस्तान इज, you can say, making ammunition for those particular tanks. वो यूक्रेनियन टैंक है और पाकिस्तान उनके लिए ammunition बना रहा है, and now it is exporting back to Ukraine. This is what is happening. पाकिस्तानी ammunition अब वापस यूक्रेन को बेचा जा रहा है क्योंकि यूक्रेन की लड़ाई चल रही है। So these are the developments that we have now. ये पूरी कहानी हो गई, ठीक है जी, इतना चल गया है यहाँ पे। So we have diversified. Okay, Russia accounted for 45% of India's import, followed by France and then US. So this has been a major, you can say, factual things here. So India was the third largest supplier to Myanmar after Russia and China. एंड 14% म्यांमार के इंपोर्ट्स जो हैं वो हम एड्रेस कर रहे हैं. So this have been the development related to, you can say, CPRI report. Okay, so we still remained, you can say, the major importer. Now there are some other interesting facts associated with this. Now world over we have seen, see, if we divide India into different components, well, not India, internationally we divide it. So you have North America, South America, Africa, okay, Asia, Europe, ASEAN, Oceania group. Okay, this is how things have been. Now in Africa, arms trade has gone down. Their arms trade has gone down. There it has gone down. Relatively here as well, it has gone down significantly. But overall in totality, if we see, it has gone down by somewhere around 5.5%. इंडिया का कितना कम हुआ? देखो 11% हम लोग कम ट्रेड कर रहे हैं हम. So overall it is saying 5.5% ही कम हुआ. It means that someone is buying equipment. Which continent is buying equipment right now? Mass scale पे खरीदा जा रहा है equipment. That is Europe. And it is the European countries who are buying the weapons right now, or the reason is Russia Ukraine war. So earlier these European countries, they were in passivity, they were not buying equipment, they were not spending on arms and equipments. But right now things have changed over the night, and because of this Russia Ukraine war, they are buying more equipment, they are spending on it. And this is the new trend. And these European countries, they used to claim that ये लड़ाई झगड़ा और ये war जो है, ये तो इन developing nations का काम है. That हम developed हो गए हैं, हमने realize किया है, झगड़ा करके कोई फायदा नहीं. But again, Europe is the center of trouble for this world. Always remember, in the past, whenever we talk about global problem in terms of war, that global problem was rooted in Europe. और आज की डेट में भी लड़ाई कहाँ पे हो रही है? यूरोप में हो रही है. सो ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जो समझनी है हमें, दैट इट इज, और इट कुड स्प्रेड आउट अगेन, इट कुड फर्दर स्प्रेड आउट. यू कैन नॉट रूल आउट द पॉसिबिलिटी. ओके, सो दिस हैज बीन द डेवलपमेंट हियर. ये पूरा खेल है जो यहाँ पे सीपरी रिपोर्ट के अंदर मेंशन्ड है. नाउ नॉट ऑल थिंग्स आर मेंशन्ड इन दिस. ओके, सारी चीजें द हिंदू ने कवर नहीं की हैं, but we did try our level best to cover multiple things. Okay, and this is how the international trade have been. थोड़े extra additional facts हमने यहाँ पे बताए हैं. So आगे बढ़ते हैं यहाँ पे. Let's see what's there for us now. This has been the question that was there. Okay, चलिए. Health Minister urges private hospitals to start medical colleges. We need more medical colleges. Specifically, if we see, the problem in India is that doctor to patient ratio, it is quite low. Whatever is suggested internationally, we are having less number of doctors to treat our patients. Not only that, maximum population is living in rural areas. Doctors you will find in urban centers. डॉक्टर मिलेंगे अर्बन सेंटर्स में और पॉपुलेशन मिलेगी आपको रूरल एरिया के अंदर. सो दिस इज हाउ डेवलपमेंट हैज बीन. सो इट मीन्स दैट वी हैव टू डील विद दिस पर्टिकुलर क्राइसिस, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द गवर्नमेंट इज अर्जिंग more private hospitals to open up the medical colleges. Okay, so as the more medical colleges will be, you can see there, so more seats will be there, and as more seats will be there, it will further reduce the cost of education, because medical education is very costly. Medical seats, people they buy it in crores, करोड़ों की बिकती है सीट. तो मेडिकल एजुकेशन बहुत कॉस्टली है, एंड देयर इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी हैव टू रिड्यूस दैट कॉस्ट. वन वे इज दिस, एनकरेजिंग मोर प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स टू हैव देयर ओन मेडिकल कॉलेजेस. ओके, वो सारी चीजें ये करें, एंड दिस इज हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल. ओके, नाउ टू फैसिलिटेट दिस, गवर्नमेंट हैव टू कम आउट विद सम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल गाइडलाइंस. कुछ चीजें चेंज करनी पड़ेंगी सरकार को अपने लेवल पे, बिकॉज से टॉक अबाउट मुंबई. नाउ मुंबई may have a running, you can say, private hospital. If that private hospital is to be converted into a college, so आपको कुछ एक चीजें ईज आउट करनी पड़ेंगी, लाइक बड़ा एरिया. मुंबई में तो वैसे भी लैंड नहीं है. देयर प्राइवेट कॉलेज, प्राइवेट यू कैन से हॉस्पिटल विल बी फंक्शनल इन वन बिग बिल्डिंग. ओके, सो दोस टाइप ऑफ नॉर्म्स दे हैव टू फैसिलिटेट कि भी इतनी ज्यादा चीजें जरूरत नहीं है. You can start your, you can say, college within the hospital if it's a building. So these things that are there, ये सारी चीजें हमें करनी पड़ेंगी. Otherwise you can say the pressure is going to increase. Okay, और doctors नहीं मिलेंगे यहाँ पे. Now 246 vultures spotted in synchronized survey in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. Okay, so already you know that we are running lot of, you can say, programs to save vulture. तो vulture को हम बचाने के लिए कर रहे हैं. Some of the vulture species, they are critically endangered. Okay, and specifically the reason is diclofenac. Okay, so that is one of the reason. Now this diclofenac, this particular drug, it is administered to animals, specifically to cattle. So what's the reason why it is given? It is given as anti-inflammatory drug. एंटी इन्फ्लामेटरी ड्रग है, ये दी जाती है कैटल को. और हुआ क्या उससे? ना व्हेन कैटल डाइज, कैटल मर गई, वल्चर इज गोइंग टू कंज्यूम दैट कैटल. वल्चर उस कैटल को उस खाएगा. ओके, एंड इन दिस वे दिस डिक्लोफेनाक, इट इज एंटरिंग द फूड चेन ऑफ वल्चर. वल्चर की फूड चेन में ये आ गया. अब ये वल्चर की फूड चेन में आ गया और ये करता क्या है? इट लेड टू लॉट ऑफ ट्रबल फॉर वल्चर. उनके बॉडी पार्ट्स खराब हो जाते हैं, उनको किडनी प्रॉब्लम होने लगती है. एंड इन दिस वे देयर वाज मास डेथ दैट हैज हैपेंड इन द पास्ट. सो दिस वाज वन ऑफ द रीजन. एंड नाउ गवर्नमेंट हैज बैंड द यूज ऑफ दिस ड्रग. इस ड्रग का यूज तो बैन कर दिया है, बट स्टिल यू कैन से थिंग्स आर इंप्रूविंग ओनली एट अ very slow rate. And right now this survey has been conducted primarily in these tiger reserves. तो देखिए, मुड्डूमलाई, सत्यमंगलम टाइगर रिजर्व, वायनाड वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी, बांदीपुर टाइगर रिजर्व एंड नगरहोल टाइगर रिजर्व. In those areas this was done and these species were located. ये सारी species वहाँ पे मिली हैं. So white rumped vulture मिले, long billed vulture मिले, red headed vulture मिले, इजिप्शियन वल्चर मिले, हिमालयन वल्चर वहां मिले, साइनरसरस वल्चर मिले यहाँ पे. ओके, सो दीज वर द वल्चर स्पीशीज दैट वर फाउंड देयर. सो ये सारी पॉइंट आपको समझने हैं. द क्वेश्चन कुड बी अ स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड कि बताओ वल्चर स्पीशीज कौन सी कहाँ लोकेट होती हैं इंडिया में. ओके, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि भी हिमालयन ग्रिफन जो है वो सिर्फ नॉर्थ में रहेगा. नाउ इट हैज बीन लोकेटेड देयर. वल्चर लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू शुड बी रिमेंबरिंग. ये सारी चीज ध्यान रखनी है. Now we'll move to the next. Russia an acute threat, China an epoch defining challenge. Okay, so this is what they are recognizing. Now see, when you talk about US is clear about it and how things changed. थोड़ा समझें इसको. Now US wanted to focus on Pacific and counter China. ये यूएस का फोकस चल रहा था. क्लियर? बट रशिया, यूक्रेन वॉर somehow changed this focus to Russia. And now US is in double mind कि भी क्या करें. पहले यूक्रेन वाला मामला संभालें, यूरोप को देखें, या फिर चाइना को काउंटर करने वाले आइडिया पे रहें. ओके, दिस हैज बीन द थिंग. When you talk about European Union, it was divided over China. Some of the European countries, they are doing good trade with China. China is investing money, okay, in those countries, and they say that there is no, you can say, problem if we are having good ties with China. तो उनको कोई problem लगती नहीं है उसमें. This is one development. This is one thing. ये एक स्टोरी है. UK is one of the major players in Europe, and definitely this document, this is the official document. So this sort of document, it's has some sanctity, and definitely it shows how European countries, they are prioritizing their concerns about rise of China as well as Russia. So ये वो आज की डेट में डील कर रहे हैं, and they all recognize India as a good ally. कि अगर इंडिया अलाय बनता है तो ये उनके लिए अच्छा होगा. So all these developments are there in the present time, and you can say UK is also considering this particular point here, okay, or they are also now thinking about, you can say proactively thinking about more active playing more active role in the global politics. European countries, they were passive about geopolitics. उनको लगता था US जो चाहेगा वो कर लेगा, हम US को सपोर्ट कर देंगे, this and that. This is how they used to think. Now they have found out that it is not going to work anymore. They have to take things in their own hands, and this is what the outcome is. तो इसीलिए वो चीज़ों को खुद अपने हाथ में लेके चल रहे हैं अब आज की डेट में. Okay, so they are thinking about this thing that they need to develop their own capability, and वो आत्मनिर्भर बन रहे हैं. Okay, so retail inflation remains unchanged. So this is what we have. It remain unchanged at 6.44. So despite, you can say, the rate hike by RBI, things are not moving. Okay, so the problem is that this might be the case that RBI may further look for rate hikes. RBI फिर दोबारा rate hike कर सकता है. Now not only this, there has been a trend that is visible. That trend is this, that inflation, it is different in different state. अलग अलग स्टेट्स में ये इन्फ्लेशन कहीं ना कहीं डिफरेंट हो रहा है. It means that there are some efforts that are to be carried out at the level of states. स्टेट के लेवल पे भी एफर्ट मारना जरूरी है, एंड दिस इज व्हाट दे हैव टू डू. सो आपको होल्डिंग जैसी प्रैक्टिस रोकनी पड़ेगी. कहीं पे होल्डिंग हो रही है तो ये पुलिस का काम है, पुलिस देखेगी ये. सो दीज थिंग्स ऑल्सो हैव टू बी डन. अगर फूड इन्फ्लेशन ज्यादा है, then agriculture is a stateless subject. There again state have some role to play in this. So outrightly we cannot be solely dependent on RBI कि भी RBI की policy से ही सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा. We have to look into these aspects. These developments are also critical, that holistic effort has to be required. Monetary policy अलग चलेगी, fiscal policy अलग चलेगी, and governance issues, those issues also have to be sorted out. Okay, so this is what the overall thing has been. So that's it for the day then. Thank you very much.